Hi, this is Michael Rubin, and before I get into the lesson today, I just bought a Windows 7 laptop, which is supposedly an upgrade from my old computer, which, believe it or not, was probably a Windows 2000. But the Windows Live Movie Maker, what I make my movies on, is not working as well. In that the first time I made a movie, about 2 videos ago, the audio and the video didn't sync up. And so I remade the movie, and the audio and video didn't sync up. And so then I sent it in a different way. Before, what I used to do was save the video to my computer and then upload that saved file to YouTube. But in my new version of Live Windows Movie Maker on Windows 7, there's something that says upload directly to YouTube. So I did that, and my first video, which I guess was Meat and Potatoes number 45, synced up the audio and the video. But then, my second video, number 46, I did exactly the same thing. I made the video and I uploaded it directly to YouTube from Live Movie Maker. There's a button that says upload to YouTube. And when I was doing my annotations, it seemed to me that my audio and my video were synced up. But then when I made it public, I got a response saying they weren't syncing up. Now, one thing I know is that my pixels, you know how many frames per second? It's not as many as there should be. That much I can tell. And so my computer guy is supposed to come over and help me put more memory directly into the Live Movie Maker and away from other things on my computer. So hopefully that will help. Maybe that'll solve the problem. But in any case, I really don't want to put out videos where the video and the audio don't connect. Okay? So if anybody has a simple way for this computer illiterate person to solve this problem, I'd appreciate it. Thanks very much. So today I want to talk about transposition. And transposition means taking a song from one key and playing it in another key. So I'm going to start on my C harmonica, and I'm going to play, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now I'm going to get on my G harmonica, and I'm going to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now I moved my mouth in the exact same way. I started on 2 blow, then I went to 1 draw. I followed the same pattern. But as you could hear, the G harmonica was lower in pitch than the C harmonica. And yet it still sounded like Mary Had a Little Lamb. The harmonica transposed the key for me from C to G by switching from a C harp to a G harp. So harmonicas are essentially transposition machines. You learn how to play in first position on a C harp, you learn it on all 12 harps. You learn how to play in the key of G on a C harp, second position, you learn how to play second position on all 12 harps. The harmonica transposes the key for you. But what if you learned how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb in first position on your C harp and you said, I would like to play it in second position on my C harp, in the key of G. How would you do it? So, first off, you got to think about the key of C major. So the notes in the C major scale are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then it follows up with the next C, but I'm just going to go from C to B. And now I'm going to number this scale. C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6, and B is 7. Now, these are not harmonica holes. Even though 1 blow is C, that 1 underneath the C is not talking about 1 blow. It's just saying that C is the first note in the C major scale. Okay? These notes are universal to music. The harmonica uses them because the harmonica is a musical instrument. However, you do not need to use the harmonica to make use of these numbers. Sometimes they call them scale degrees. So, C is the first note, D is the second, E is the third. Okay? Etc. Now, just so you know, all 12 major scales, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and all 12 keys, all have numbers. So in the key of G, G is the first note, A is the second note, B is the third note. I have all of them memorized, all 12 major scales. So if you said to me, what's the fifth note in the key of G? I would say D. If you said, G is the third note in which key? I would say E flat. And I wouldn't have to think about it. It's right at the top of my head, okay? This is what I mean when I say memorize your 12 major scales. I'm not just saying be able to play them or be able to name them. Oh, the key of D is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. You need to know C sharp is the seventh note in the key of D. Now, there are 4 rudiments in music, in my opinion. The notes on the keyboard scale, if you're a harmonica player, the notes on a C harmonica, the 12 major scales, and the circle of fifths. I keep talking about this stuff. If you don't have this stuff memorized, you need to get on it. This is what it's about. If you understand these 4 rudiments, almost every other theory problem is one of these 4 rudiments plus another concept. So if you understand these 4 rudiments, it's much easier just to move on to the added concept instead of having to think about that rudiment again. Okay, so let's look at the song Mary Had a Little Lamb. Let's just take the first 3 notes. Mary had. What holes did I play on my C harmonica? 2 blow, 1 draw, 1 blow. What are the names of the notes in 2 blow, 1 draw, 1 blow? Well, the blow notes are C, E, G. So 2 blow is E. The draw notes are doggone, Big Dallas Fort Worth Airport. So 1 draw is D, because dog starts with D. And 1 blow is C, because the blow notes are C, E, G. So the notes in this song in the key of C, and only in the key of C, are E, D, C. If we want to play it in the key of G, or any other key, it's another group of notes. So now we have to take these notes, E, D, C, and think about what scale degrees they represent in the key of C. In the key of C, if C is the first note and D is the second note, what number value is E? C, D, E. 1, 2, 3. 3. What number is D? 2. What number is C? 1. So Mary Had a Little Lamb is always 3, 2, 1, no matter which key you're in. So in the key of G, the third note is B, G, A, B, second note is A, and the third note is G, B, A, G. So in the key of G, Mary Had a Little Lamb is B, A, G. We're going to get deeper into that in a second. We're going to repeat what I just said. But before we do, we got to think about highs and lows, descending and ascending. In Mary Had a Little Lamb, E, D, C, or in scale degrees, 3, 2, 1. That's not harmonica numbers, that's scale degrees. The first note is 3, is followed by the second note, 2, E, D. Is that going higher or lower in pitch as it moves from E to D? Mary, high, low. It's going lower in pitch. This is very important when you're transposing to think about whether or not you're moving higher, lower, or remaining on the same note. Let's say I went higher from a low E to a high D. That's no longer Mary Had a Little Lamb. It kind of sounds like Mary Had a Little Lamb, but it's not the way that most people play it. It's more avant-garde. Okay, so that's important. So in this song, Mary had high, lower, lower. It's descending on all three of the from the first note of the song to the second note it descends. From the second note to the third note it descends. This is very important. So what I do sometimes is I will put arrows pointing up or down in between the notes that I write down. I don't know if I'll be able to figure that out on the annotations here. Maybe I have to write U for up and D for down. Who knows? But I really don't want it to be that messy. But we'll see what I do. So now we got to try and change it to the key of G. Well, in the key of G, the notes are G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So G is the first note, A is the second note, B 3, C 4, D 5, E 6, F sharp 7. Well, we want 3, 2, 1. What's the third note in the key of G? G, A, B. What's the second note? A. What's the third note? G. So if we played B, A, G, we would get Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now, if you have perfect pitch, I am obviously not really singing B, A, G. Okay? I'm just singing a representation of that scale. So, all right. So, where is the lowest B on the G harmonica? The blow notes are C, E, G, so it's not there. The draw notes are doggone big. Big is 3 draw. There's our B. Where is A? Doggone big, Dallas Fort Worth Airport. 6 draw. Mary. Okay, excuse my singing. But you see that? I didn't descend. I went higher, and the song got weird. Okay? We need to find a lower A note than 3 draw. That's why descending and ascending is so important. So where's an A that's lower than 3 draw? Well, 3 blow is G, 3 draw is B. There's got to be a bent note in between. 3 draw goes down from B to B flat, the single bend, down to A, the double bend. 3 double bend is A. Then where's G? Well, C, E, G, 3 blow is G, but I like 2 draw. To me, professionals focus on 2 draw. So let's use 2 draw for our G. So we're going to go 3 draw, 3 double, 2 draw. Mary had, and there we just transposed Mary Had a Little Lamb, at least the first 3 notes, from the key of C to the key of G. So that's the basics. Okay, there's more complex stuff going on with transposition, but that is the basics. So what I recommend you do is take Mary Had a Little Lamb and complete it. So now that D note is the 5th note in the scale, which is in the key of C. It was the G note. You got to remember that D note is higher. Okay? So that's your homework. Figure out Mary Had a Little Lamb in the key of G. And it's great because it will really push you to improve your 3 double bend, because 3 double bend is all over that song, and you know what Mary Had a Little Lamb is supposed to sound like. And then just continue, if you know Oh Susanna, learn it in the key of G. Any song you know in the key of C, learn it in the key of G. Now you may experience some problems because in the key of C the 7th note is B, and in the key of G the 7th note is F sharp. Until you learn how to overblow, the middle register does not have an F sharp. So there's going to be some tough things, and knowing that about the harmonica, knowing the limitations of the harmonica, or the limitations of you as a player with the harmonica, is very important. And the best way to learn about those limitations is constant attempts to transpose songs. And then the more you transpose, the more you realize, hey, there's no F sharp in the key of G in the middle register on the C harmonica. It makes it difficult to play songs that have the 7th scale degree. So, I'll see you soon. Thanks very much. Stop.